welcome to my channel. This is Nora. If you are new to my channel, I just want you to know that this is a lifestyle channel, and we talk about health, wellness, fashion, and living well. Because one, I'm a person who have a chronic diagnosis called fibromyalgia, and I am a self-care advocate where I encourage other women how to live well in spite of difficulties. So today I'm going to be talking about balancing work, family, and career. And I'm going to give 10 tips at the end of this video. This is going to be a short video. I'm going to give 10 tips on how you can actually incorporate self-care into your own personal activities that's going to help you better balance out work, family, and career. Because as women, we wear a lot of different hats, and we can sometimes find that it is difficult to balance all of our responsibilities, because we do a lot of things to take care of a lot of people. If you have a husband, you take care of your husband. If you got kids, you're taking care of your kids, and you're working outside of the home. When you come home, you're probably like running in trying to cook, and now we are spending a lot of times in the home because of COVID-19. Many of us are like working in the home, and then as soon as we get off work, you transition into, now I'm getting ready to cook, or I'm getting ready to prepare food, I'm trying to clean up, and it's like, how do I have time to take care of myself? And if you don't take care of yourself, it's going to be really, really hard to do all the things that you're going to do. It's going to even be hard to like be happy. I mean, it's going to make you be angry, frustrated, irritable. All those things are a possibility. So today, what we're going to be talking about is how do I find some sense of balance in my life when I have all these responsibilities, have all these things going on, and I just want to have a candid conversation with you. So if this is something that you want to discuss or want to give some feedback on, just keep watching, and you can leave your comments in the comment section, and we will come back and respond to your comments in regards to your whatever you leave in the comment section. And so I'm going to talk to you about that, and just hopefully we will discuss something on this channel that is going to help you. You can also head over to Self-Care 101 for Women. It's on Facebook, and that is a group where we have over 800 women that are there, and we're all there supporting each other, being more accountable. Because if you have an accountability partner, they can encourage you, they can check in on you. And so if you're not in the group, it's a free group, and you can head over there and join. So let's jump into this conversation. And like I was saying, a lot of times as women, we find it very difficult to manage all of the things that we have to do. So I have a couple of questions that I want to put out there first. One is, are you taking care of you? Two, how do you reclaim your own personal time? Three, are we setting good examples for our children, if we have any children? How do you respond to your children when you are not able to get that time to make sure you're in a good mood and in a good place when you're having to deal with them? You know, like sometimes children will do things, and I've always been told that it's not good to deal with them when you're angry and frustrated. If you had a really long day, then sometimes you will probably respond in a not so good way. It's not intentional, but that may be a way that you respond. Just say they weigh something on the floor, and if you've been having a good day and you've been in a good place, you may respond to them in a more positive way and just say, hey, let me just clean it up. If you've had a bad day and your child weighs some juice on the floor, you're going to think about, oh my God, I fixed their food, I've done all this stuff, and then now they waste their juice. I got to clean it up. Now I got to fix some more juice. And It's just like you start having all these random thoughts. But if you were in a better place, in a better mood, not angry, that would kind of determine that you're not going to lash out at your children. And that's something that you don't want to do. You don't want to be angry and irritable with your children. You don't want to be angry and irritable with your family. So it's going to be good to try to make sure that you're in a good place. And you say, how can I be in a good place, Miss Nora, when I have all these responsibilities and all these things going on? You're going to have to create a atmosphere for yourself where you can focus on yourself, where by the time you get to your children, you are in a better place. By the time you get to your husband, you're in a better place. And so you're going to have to, first, you're going to have to identify that you're responding to things. You're going to have to be aware of how you are responding to life, how you're responding to situations. And that's going to say, well, I'm going to have to like really stop. There are going to be the times where you're going to have to like stop and take a breather and just like get yourself back into a good space. And you're like, how do I do that? I get up in the morning and I'm going. When I get down to the night, I just drop dead and fall asleep. And that's not how we should be. We should have a more organized life. And with this being 2021, we can work on being more organized in every area of our lives. You know, it's like if we take that special time that we need to focus on everything that we're doing and being more intentional, we can have a better outcome. And so that is what I want us to think about, like right now. How can we have a better outcome? How can we find some sense of balance? And also, how can you find some sense of normalcy during a time of a pandemic? And the question that I asked in the beginning, are you taking care of yourself? And if you're going all day long, are you really taking care of yourself? I mean, are you getting up earlier to do exercises or to make sure that you eat breakfast, or are you running out of the door really, really fast? You know, are you really taking care of yourself? And a lot of times, I'm guilty of that myself, that the answer would be no to this question. No, I'm not taking care of myself at all times. And so that is going to be where we're going to have to do some self-evaluation and be honest about what's going on in our lives. A lot of times we're not being honest about what's really going on. And, you know, they're telling us to wear masks for our own personal safety and health, but sometimes we're wearing a mask that nobody can see. We're hiding behind the mask, and we need to take the mask off and just be honest with what's really going on in our own personal lives. So the next question says, how can you reclaim your time? First, you need to look at how many hours in the day and what are you doing with your time. You may need to use a calendar. And I do have my calendar that I had showed y'all earlier, making a healthy habit. And so in your calendar, you may want to jot down how are you really utilizing your time. You know, like for maybe like 2 weeks, you can take your calendar and just kind of jot down how are you using it. What are you doing when you first get up in the morning? How does your morning start? And just kind of jot down what you're doing. Because sometimes if you don't see it on paper, you don't really understand that you need to make some actual changes. So in order to reclaim your time, you need to like evaluate, how am I really using my time? And if you see circles in my eyes, that's the ring light. But anyway, you want to reclaim your time and make sure that you evaluate how you're using your time. And also on your calendar, you want to make sure that you specify some time for yourself. And I remember when I used to talk to people when I was doing therapy, that a lot of times they was like, well, I don't have time. I have so many things that I'm doing. And so you have to figure out, how do you put yourself on your calendar? Whether it's in the morning, whether it's at lunchtime, whenever it is, make sure that you put yourself on your calendar. It may even be that you're going to put yourself on the calendar late at night. You know, just whenever it is, if you have young children, you have to identify, am I going to put myself on the calendar after I put the children in the bed? Or am I going to get up early in the morning to have that quiet time with God and with myself and with my children still sleeping, you know, before you get them up? That is when you're going to have to think about, how can I reclaim my own time? How can I add myself into my own personal schedule? Because a lot of times we have schedules, but we leave ourselves out. It's not intentional, but it's just when you work outside of the home and you have all these activities, because most of us are gone away from the house. If work is from 9 to 5, then from 8 o'clock until probably 6, we are not at our house. I know that happens for me because if I have to be in my office at like 8:30, then I'm leaving the house at 8 o'clock, and I'm there at the building sometimes till 5. I leave at 5, and then I'm in traffic, and I get home like 6 or 6:30. Like, that is a lot of time that I'm away from home. So you have to think about, how can I reclaim my time? And I'm always going. And so you're just going to have to do that. And while I'm sitting here, you're probably like, what are you looking at? And it's on the back of my little coffee thing, well, tea, it says, it does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. And this is Confucius. Just thought I'd put that on there because I noticed it while we were sitting here talking. And did I ever drink any of my tea? Like my cup. That's one of my little designs that I put on my cup. But anyway, the other thing that we want to look at is, are we setting good examples for our children? And personally, I'm not going to just like per se answer that question, but I just want you to think about, are we setting good examples for our children? Simply because your children are watching your behavior. Many of us may say, there's this little cliche phrase, don't do as I do, do as I tell you. And so, you know, they're watching you. They may not be doing what you're doing, but they are observing and they're learning from you. So whatever behaviors and activities that you do, your children are watching. So if we set up good habits and they observe us, they will pick up on those good behaviors. So you want to see, am I doing things that are good and positive in regards to taking care of myself in a healthy way so that my children will pick up on those habits. The other thing that I want you to remember is learning to balance family and a career is not easy, but it can be done. So if you're working outside the home, it can be done. The way that you can get it done is by planning, strategizing, and incorporating your own personal self-care. Let me say that again. Planning. So when you plan, make sure that you include yourself. Strategize, brainstorm, try to figure out what's going to work best for you. And make sure that you incorporate those activities. Don't just talk about them, be about them. Don't just say that I'll get to myself later. Don't do that, because I promise you, your body is going to let you know. That is why a lot of times many of us women have a lot of sickness, underlying conditions, because we put ourselves on the back burner. We're always giving of ourselves. We feel like, well, I got to do all these things. Sometimes you have to delegate. So some basic things that I want you to do that can help you get started. Remember I said I had 10 tips. 10 tips. The first one that I have on my list is do something just for you that you enjoy. I can't tell you what you're going to do for yourself that you enjoy doing. But I can encourage you that you kind of jot down some activities that you like and that you enjoy and plan to do them. The second thing is simply to take a power nap. When can you take a power nap? Well, I don't really know when you can take a power nap, but I know the other day, this is Friday, I took a nap on Wednesday, which I have not taken a nap in a long time. And it ended up being more than a power nap, because a power nap is like 15 to 20 minutes. I took a nap after I got off work, and I think I slept for like 2 hours. And do you know that in those 2 hours, I really kind of thought it was another day, because my daughter was like, Mama, when you gonna cook the cabbage? And I'm looking, it's like 6 o'clock. Why are we talking about cabbage at 6 o'clock in the morning? I couldn't understand why she was talking about it. That means that I really needed to sleep, and I slept until I thought it was another day. I got a good long nap, and I felt good when I got up. And I cooked cabbage, and I cooked some chicken in the air fryer, which if you want that recipe, I can leave you some information about how to cook your chicken in the air fryer. It's wonderful. The third thing we're going to do is we're going to step back from activities. And this is where we're going to have to learn to tell some people no. We're going to have to identify things that we're not going to do. If you don't get them done today, if it's the Lord's will, you can do them tomorrow. So you're going to have to step back from some activities. The fourth thing that we're going to do is we're going to exercise to our favorite music or podcast. So if you have some music that you like, your favorite music that's going to motivate you to get you going, exercise. If you cannot go to the gym, then just do some exercises in your own home. Find and create a space in your home and exercise in your home. Or listen to a podcast, something that's going to motivate you about things that you like. So if you can find something that you like, get some kind of activity and get moving. Number 5 is going to be take a break from the news and social media, because there is so much stuff on the news that will get your spirit messed up, get you all boggled down. And actually, I've been noticing that there's a lot on social media. Everything that you see on social media is not good, and it can get you to a point where you're like, this is really, it's just overwhelming. Your news feed, it's just overwhelming, especially during this time of a lot of sickness, a lot of loss, a lot of just people doing crazy things. It's just, sometimes you just have to disconnect. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break from the news and social media. Not that you don't know what's going on in your local community, but you're just not going to get all those notifications and be on the news just, oh my goodness. You understand what I'm saying. You're going to organize your day and make sure that you include yourself on the calendar. So you're going to make sure that you find a good time on your calendar. If you know that you're gone from 9 to 5, it may be that when you are at lunch, that you really utilize that as your lunch. Because if that's the only time that you can get that you can do something for yourself, make sure you don't stay in your office. Because if you stay in your office, somebody's going to come knocking on your door. They're not going to respect that you're on your lunch break. And so it's better to get in your car. There's been times when I've gotten in my car and drove just up the street and sat there and was quiet. I've actually taken the time where I drove over across town, and there's a place that have like a lake. And I went there and I just sat there. And I almost one time got attacked by some wild birds that was over there. But yeah, I just make sure that I'm out of the building, not in the office. Also, at my office that I'm at now, I can go down and there's like a fountain and sit in that area and listen, or I can go outside and walk in the building. That's where coworkers don't know where you are and they're not going to bother you. Number 7, You're going to find time to sit quietly at home. And there should be some time that you can sit quietly. And that may mean that you have to get up earlier, or it may mean that after your activities are done, turn the TV off and just sit quietly, meditate and pray, and just sit quietly, just to try to clear your mind. You may want to light a candle. You may want to have your favorite scent going. Whatever it is, just sit quietly. You may even turn the light off and just sit there quietly, clear your mind. And actually, I have a couple of apps that are on my phone and on my watch, my Apple Watch. Have you seen that? If y'all want to know more about my Apple Watch, this has a lot of things that can help you with just about life. Whatever you want to use or learn or resource that you need, you can find it on your phone. And now it's connected to our watches, that we don't have to carry our big phones around with us. But you can use some of those apps to help you, because my app gives me a reminder. I use like the Calm app. I use the Gratitude Journal app that is giving me a reminder to like just breathe, or it'll say it's time to stand. So sometimes we just need those simple things to get those reminders to help us to do small activities to help us to take care of ourselves. Number 8, talk with a close friend who will listen. Let me say that again. Talk with a close friend who will listen. Everybody is not going to listen. So sometimes you need to find a close friend that is going to listen, because sometimes you may have friends who have a lot of things going on themselves, and they may not be the best person for you to talk to at that time. So a close friend that will listen. And number 9, start a gratitude journal. And I think that that is one of the best things that you can do, because when we start a gratitude journal, one, if you take the time out of the day, whether it's in the morning or the night or whenever it's going to be best for you, just to focus on the good things that have already happened. Like what they have, the gratitude journals that have like prompts that will help you to identify what it is that you're thankful for, and you can write those things down. And then the other thing about the gratitude journal is you can go back and read. So if you're having like a low time, you can go back and read what you've already written down, just like some reminders of what you're thankful for things that have happened that you may have forgotten. And so they can help you with your mood and encourage you. If you are, having an attitude of gratitude, means a wealth of things for you. It will help you in some of your tough times to go back and read, even if it's something from like years ago. So if you have journals from years ago and you go back and read, it can trigger those thoughts about the good times that you've had, or the good things that have happened, or just whatever you're grateful for. So start a gratitude journal. The very last thing that I have is number 10, and that is to be crafty. And if you find yourself utilizing your hands, find something that you like doing. Crafty things are therapeutic. You never know what you'll feel like, whether it's like painting or blinking out stuff, a puzzle. People do puzzles and then they put the Mod Podge over them, and then those are things that they can put up on display. Being crafty, everybody say, well, I'm not an artist. I mean, you just never know. There's a lot of things on YouTube that can teach you and show you how to create stuff. I mean, there's classes and courses, and that helps you to utilize your time, and you will enjoy it. It may not be that you can just make all the elaborate stuff, but things that you make, that's a way of self-expression, and you can express yourself. And it also gives you a time where the other things that you may be focusing on or thinking about in life, they're not in the forefront. That's going to help you to focus on something else. I've done things like I've done art, I make things, I've taken pictures. That's another form of craft. I love for photography. My grandmother told me, she gave me my first big girl camera, which was a Polaroid camera. And she said, whenever you come and see me, you make sure that you bring me some pictures, girl. And listen, ever since that time, I've been the person in the family who have been the picture person, always bringing pictures, taking pictures. I have a bag of Polaroids, not Polaroids, but those old instant cameras. I'm gonna take them to Walmart because I know they have some old pictures of the children. And so, you know, just find you something to do. Find something that you enjoy doing. Remember that in life we have to take care of ourselves. Self-care is vital to purpose, whatever your purpose is. If you're a mom, if you're a business person, if you, you know, working outside the home, if you're a prayer warrior, whatever, in order for you to fulfill your purpose, whatever God has called you to do. And yes, being a mom is something that God has called us to do. You're gonna have to take care of yourself, because if you get all boggled down and can't take care of yourself, you're not going to be able to fulfill your purpose and your God-given assignment that he gave you from the beginning. So I'm going to encourage you to do whatever you can to take care of yourself, love yourself. If you love yourself, then you're going to be able to love somebody else. Whoever, that could be your child, your husband, because taking care of ourselves and making sure that we are healthy and well in every area of our lives is going to help us to have better relationships with other people. So, that was just our discussion for today. Hopefully I have said something that have encouraged you. If you think that this video is worthy of sharing with a friend or in one of your groups, make sure that you share it. Leave me a comment, ask me a question. If there's something that you'd like to see on my channel, then please do not hesitate to leave it in the comments. And I look forward to chatting with you again soon. And y'all have a great rest of the week. And when the weekend comes, make sure that you enjoy your weekend. And actually, you should be planning your activities. Saturday could be your day for a massage or shopping or getting that special treat that you wanted to treat yourself with all week long. So make sure that you make yourself a priority. Self-care is not selfish, but it is vital. And thank you for tuning in, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching our video today. We hope that we've said something that will help you and encourage you to develop your own self-care plan. Here we have our self-care boxes that are available and are the sponsors of this video today at www.LorrayNaturals. And we appreciate you watching, and we've added you some self-care tips. And Mr. Palmer came in to visit, and he says hi as well. We love you all and hope that you have a blessed day.